not long ago, previous Fed chairs wrote an op-ed. You sort of responded to it with an article called "Central Bank Independence is Not Enough." Why don't you tell us about that? I think it's very timely as we get ready for the minutes today.
It is very timely. Well, for a long time, the law has not changed with respect to the Federal Reserve Act, but policy has gotten good and bad. So my point is you not only have to have a more independent central bank, it should be accountable. And that's why I think some strategies or rules of how they perform is very important. And when they are close to that, things work well. When they deviate, it doesn't work so well at all. So that was the main point of that.
Yes, rules-based, moving away from rules-based, and considering there's a Taylor rule, you knew something about rules. You know, at the beginning of the crisis, when the central banks, particularly ours, got aggressive trying to deal with the credit crisis, Volcker, now famous for the Volcker Rule, said something he should be more famous for, that this puts the Federal Reserve in the gray of their charter. What did he mean by that, and is gray now the new normal?
Well, I think what's happened now, there's so many people commenting at the Fed and other places, it's becoming confusing. In fact, I think for a while, much of 2017, 2018, they were kind of returning to a more rules-based policy. It looked pretty well. Now it's a little uncertain, and so there's so much commentary. So the comments of Volcker, and he really got it started, Greenspan continued, but that was really an effort to have a more rule-like policy, and it worked. And so if they could do that now, and I think they have been, but they're a little bit squishy right at this point, it would be very beneficial to the economy.
You know, there's always unintended consequences, even to the best policies, and of course, to less than the best, maybe more. The markets used to have signals. If the economy did something and rates moved up or down, it meant something. It's hard to understand what the market's saying now with many of those feedback loops broken to managed markets. So I guess my question is quite simple. Sovereigns seem to just completely be void of any movement on rising debt and deficits. When will this end? And it can't go on forever, can it, Professor?
No, it can't. In fact, the deficits are getting bigger. The economy is getting better. It's sort of backwards at this point. I think it's got to be corrected. People recognizing that. The low interest rate makes it easier to do that. And here I would say there is an international aspect to this. That's the purpose of this book I just wrote. So when people are thinking about the Fed, they should think about the ECB and the BOJ and the other central banks. It is a global financial system, and how that operates is important. It reflects the strength of the dollar, the weakness of the dollar, and that's on everybody's mind at this point.